Let's check out this Luminox on loan from Saltzmans watches in Rhode Island. Big thanks to Richard. I'll put his direct contact information down below, as well as a direct link to this watch. So you can just purchase it right online, or you can reach out to Richard, tell him I sent you. I think I'll put a discount code down below too. Try it out. Let me know if it works if you're interested in getting one of these. Also, Saltzmans is one of the large authorized service centers for Luminox brand watches. I've heard a lot of stories about them doing repairs. I can say this. These watches are not expensive in the first place. $895 is retail on this thing. This is the XS.4231. And then inevitably I'll hear some people be like, I don't know, it was like $300 or $400 to fix it. It's like, well, they replaced a bunch of parts and it took time, so there's labor and everything like that. So it's like an expensive service on an inexpensive watch in the first place hurts a little bit more. But if you have sentimental value to the watch, then it's definitely worth doing it. Otherwise, maybe get a quote, figure out how much it might cost, and then evaluate whether you just want to purchase a new one from them and forego the service, or do you really want to invest in the service on these watches? Because the parts aren't cheap. They're kind of one-off parts, like the movements. There are different movements to get the height clearance from those tritium tubes, and there's nothing standard about these Luminox. They're kind of their own little thing. So just wanted to point that out. If you purchase a Luminox and you have it close to end of life and it needs a repair or something like that, you might get a little bit of sticker shock because it's all relative to the initial purchase price, which is low in the first place. Anyway, I've repeated myself over. So this case is 45 millimeter. It's IP black coated stainless steel. And the lug to lug is pretty long at 51.5, but you'll see on my wrist it definitely works. The thickness, I do measure it at 13.5. You have a flat sapphire crystal up top with AR coating. Pretty good clarity on that thing. And then you have a solid, really ornate case back there with the Navy SEALs and the anchor and the Luminox and the eagle and all that cool stuff. Pretty cool looking 23 millimeter lug opening, as indicated on the excellent rubber strap that these watches come with. This one also comes with a hook and loop, like Velcro style strap. So this one comes with two in a nice little box, because it's kind of like a I don't know what you would call it, like a celebration type watch of being, working with Navy SEAL style watches for decades. I forget how long now, 30 years or something like that. 7 millimeter screw down crown, keeping the 200 meter water depth rating on this thing. And then of course you have this excellent stainless steel bezel that is 60 click, very nice feeling, very solid, almost kind of like mini rider tabs on it. So you have plenty of traction. And then of course you have the tritium tube at the 60, as well as tritium tubes at all of the hour markers, the hour hand, minute hand, and seconds hand. And you'll see, I'll try to show them the best I can. They're green and orange in color. So a really heavily textured dial, large Arabics, and then inboard of that you have your red 24-hour markers, as well as a red framed date window at the 3 o'clock position. And you can see that thing's just ticking away, and that robust, should be a Ronda quartz movement, if I'm not mistaken, a Swiss Ronda quartz movement. Let's pop this on my 7.25 inch wrist so you can see what that looks like. This strap is pretty heavy duty, but still comfortable at the same time. It's interesting. So there it is on my 7.25 inch wrist. You can see that it wears good. Even though it is 45 by 51.5, I can pull it off no problem. Partly because it's like an all black case, all black bezel, black dial. It just plays a little bit smaller on wrist, I think, and it's not overly thick for the footprint for sure. It's nice and balanced. And then you have this really robust strap with two tangs on the buckle, and then you have two keepers for the strap, thankfully not metal. They're done in the same material. This one floats completely, and then this one's semi-captured by the width of the buckle and then these little tabs here. So nice configuration there for sure. Now let's turn off the studio lights. Before I do that, I'm going to give it a blast. I don't think there's any normal lume on this, but I should be able to show the tritium tubes a little bit. Yeah, you can see them there, but if I get creative with this, yeah, that'll really come out. So you can see the minute, the 12, and then of course the pip are all tied together so you can time things in the dark. The way these tritium tubes work is kind of, you know, overpowered. It's a little dim at first to the naked eye, but once your eyes adjust to the darkness, definitely when you get into like really dark areas, this is so much more visible than say a lume on a regular watch. See how potent the lume on a Seiko is versus this, but this will die off. This will not die off. It has a half-life, but it will last 25 years. So tritium is pretty awesome. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next vid.